Welcome back to the Marbella podcast. Today we're going to be talking everything to do with the studio, the Casa blend, and to be fair, we have no idea where the conversation might even go, let's be honest. So today, obviously, I'm joined by Luke again, and we're just going to see how this wraps up.
Yeah, I mean, the idea with today's episode is to talk all about this place. We've obviously set up a mobile podcast inside the cafe, or inside the health bar.
Health bar, yeah.
Health bar. We're basically like a healthy bar that serves superfood drinks like matcha, acai bowls, coffee, protein shakes, smoothies. We're still trying to work out how we call it. I use the word cafe because I'm an English loser, but I want to think of something fancy. It's like a health vibe juice bar, but it's not a juice bar because we serve coffee. What do you even call that?
I would class it as like a health bar.
Yeah, health bar.
I think health bar. Guys, if you're watching this,
it's not a coffee shop. It's not a coffee shop that you serve, or is it a matcha shop? I don't know.
We're not going to be serving bacon butties, or anything like that.
That's a cafe. That's what I'm saying. We're not a cafe. So, health bar, juice bar, coffee shop. We need to think of the bracket that we fall into. But that will be Casa Blend. It will be here. We literally signed the lease for this week. So we thought we'd introduce you guys to the space, where we are, what our vision is for it, and just explain like how it all came about with us. We obviously have the studio upstairs. So if you know where in Port Banús, in the heart of Port Banús, if you know where the stadium is, what would you call it? The ball ring? The arena is. We're opposite the arena. That's where Marbella Podcast Studio is and Casa Creative. And now we've taken on another unit downstairs that we're going to turn into a health bar.
Health bar, that's the one.
Okay, good.
Basically, and the whole gist of this realistically is me and Luke will save a hell of a lot of money by just having our own cafe, health bar, whatever you want to class it as. The amount of money we spend on coffee, fucking teas, protein shakes, all that other stuff. You know, I'm sure you've all got your go-to place where you're spending an arm and a leg for the same thing day in, day out. And we were just like, do you know what? We're going to have somewhere that we can come, that we can brand our own, that we can do our own thing. And obviously it's below the studio, so it goes hand in hand with what it is they're wanting to do as well.
Yeah, and just have it to our quality, our level of quality and our standard, because there's a lot of places in this area in Banús that are ridiculously expensive, and the service is shit, the product is shit, and they just rape you. It feels like you're getting raped. And
We're going to go there. I like it. Let's do it.
I know. I think they take advantage of the holiday makers and people here, and we're not doing that. So we want to have like high quality and fair price. We might rape you a little bit, but fair price. So that's the idea with the space, and to have. We got like inspired by a lot of different. There's a few different cafes around here and places around here that inspired us to do it, and we just feel like with yours around the corner, there's a bowling alley opening. With all the vibe of Marbella has changed. I feel like 15 years ago, people were trying to do a place like this, like a health bar or a juice bar, and it just didn't work.
Too early for it.
Because it was too early for it. But now, we've both been sober now 6 months. We're not going out and spending money on booze. We're thinking about health. We're thinking about longevity. We're thinking about health span. We're thinking about improving our bodies, improving our minds. And that's on everyone's mind now. So that's what we kind of wanted to provide with the coffee bar and with the health bar and with the idea of superfoods and acai and matcha and blending it all together under smoothies and everything else. So you can go to the gym, and as you walk past here, you can jump in and get a protein shake, or you can get a smoothie, or you can get your pre-yoga matcha or whatever you want to do. It's all a little bit gay, but we're kind of like building in the most masculine man alive. Opening up a healthy matcha shop is a bit weird, but
I've got a bit of feminine energy in here, so I'm all right. I understand the gist of it a little bit, but I think when we first started having these conversations, it was like, is it going to work? Is it going to not? Is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? But the fact of the matter is, no matter where we go, wherever we are, whether we're at Paisana, whether we're at Breathe, whether we're at La Sala, whether we're at Clubhouse, whether we're somewhere else, we always find that there's droves of people going in, drinking matcha, drinking iced coffees, doing this. And again, you guys watching this, you'll have your own favourite drink. You'll have the one that you're doing over and over again, the same place, the same time, your same routine. And we were just like, right, let's have somewhere that people can come, like Luke said, where it's, a reasonable price and you're getting good quality. Because the amount of times I go somewhere, the coffee's shit, the service is shitter, and you're almost getting violated every single time you order a coffee. And I'm sat there looking at my bill, and I've had 3 cups of coffee with some caramel syrup in. I'm getting charged for the syrup €10. The cup is €4. The coffee is €9. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've only had 3 cups of coffee and it's cost me 30 quid. And that's not what we want to have here. We want to have somewhere where the service is top notch, the quality of everything is top notch, and you can go away from there thinking, I enjoyed that. And you got your favourite matcha, you got your favourite spirulina drink, you got your favourite whatever it is that we end up serving. We've got everything, you know, you can see behind us now. This is all going to be kind of aesthetically looking, going to be great pops of colour. We're going to have things served in a certain way. I'm excited about it because it's missing, in my opinion, here in Marbella. Especially in Port Banús area. You can drive to Marbella for like matcha lounges and stuff like that. I don't even know if they've got proper one version of that, but I think it's definitely missing. It's definitely needed.
And I think, yeah, definitely missing, and in this area especially as well. And we just wanted to show you guys the whole idea, like not just with the Marbella. The Marbella podcast is built for us to show off Marbella and what you can do. Obviously, what's going on in our lives, what's going on with the studio, and the availability of things. So we did a mobile podcast here so you guys can see how it works. If you wanted to do mobile podcasts of your own on a yacht or in a villa or whatever, it's a service that we offer at the podcast studio and with the agency, so you can see it firsthand, us doing it here. Yeah. But then we also wanted to show off from the beginning, from ground up, for like young entrepreneurs that may be watching the channel and watching us and following our stories, like how you can take on challenges and do new things, and how trying to find, you know, things that you can plug into that maybe aren't your thing, but can generate income. Like we just said, me opening a matcha bar or a health bar, serving a coffee shop. I mean, I do love coffee, but it's not really my brand. It's not really my vibe. It's not really me. But I see the gap in the market in Port Banús for a place like this. So I still want to take it on. I still want to do the challenge. I still want to go through the job. And it can be a revenue stream that can make money for us, and that we can push through and can build something. So it's going to make us money. We're going to be proud of it. We're going to be there every single day. It's a win-win-win-win-win. And obviously we're going to save money by not buying coffee everywhere else and buying it at our own shop. And I think it's just another thing we spoke about on the last episode about ownership and about building your own environment. And when we go to the studio, when we go to our space, and when we walk in, we feel it gives us energy. Yeah. So this is going to be another place that gives us energy. We can sit down here on a laptop, drink our coffee. There's our brand that we've built, that we've decided. We decided the coffee bean, we decided the roaster, we decided how it would be made, we decided the water filtration system, we decide every single little part of it. So when we sip it, we feel like we made this happen.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's perfect,
yeah.
Exactly how we want it.
Yeah.
So hopefully other people want it that way as well.
If not, we're going to save a lot of money either way. So
yeah. So, and that's like the idea today, to show you from the beginning, when we sign the lease, when we take over the space, the challenges and the things that we have to overcome. So through the socials, we obviously have at Casa Blend Marbs on Instagram, which will be the Instagram for the venue. So if you're not following, go and follow that, and we'll post on there stories and things happening of day by day before we come to launch. Yeah. We want to try and launch this place as soon as possible, because obviously the summer months are upon us now. We're already in June, going to be July before you know it. So we're trying to get it moving, but the reality is it probably won't be to the end of July that we get it up and running and pumping and pushing. Yeah. So we've missed a lot of the season this year, but that's the challenge of getting the space. We had a lot of issues getting the space, and I mean, you talk a little bit and then I'll tell it about how this all happened and how it burnt down.
And I think one thing I really wanted to kind of showcase was the kind of journey that you have to go on to do this type of stuff, because a lot of people see, oh, it might have come up for sale, you have to do this, you have to do that. But like, if you could see behind the cameras and on the floor right now, it's a shithole. You know, there's mess everywhere. Like, there's little ants in the corner over there because there's a banana tree. Like little things that you don't necessarily pay attention to when it's not your spot. So like, we're going to document that whole journey as well, of like transforming this from a shell into a fully functional business that generates X, Y, Z. So obviously we've got the cameras, we've got the team here and everything to kind of share that journey with you. But I think this is really, really special of like how it actually came about, because obviously when my kind of vision to come to Marbella to set up a podcast studio, it wasn't a podcast studio like I've got it now. I love playing poker. My initial goal was to set up a poker table, which we have on the way, by the way, 2 weeks away. I cannot wait to be sat on a roof terrace, smoking cigars, drinking coffee, playing poker.
To me at poker.
Game over. And that was the initial goal, whereas now that's expanded into like a full membership area. It's expanded into a cafe, it's expanded into other areas. So I think that for me is the exciting part is sharing that journey with you guys as we go along, because there's a lot of fugazi when it comes to Marbella, and people tell you they're going to do something and the following week they're doing something else. But how this place came about and how it's all, whether you believe in the universe or you don't, how it all came into fruition, you know, I'll let Luke share about how it kind of came, that this all happened. But it's exciting, and it's kind of when the stars align, if you will, without sounding too cheesy. That's the journey that we're going through right now.
Yeah, and I think, like, obviously, if you've been following me for a while, you would have seen from the studio. I've had the studio for a couple of years before Bradley got involved, and it got this used to be, I think, a shisha bar or something. And it was failing as a business, so they decided to burn it down. So they did a Marbella job on it, and it got burned down. And they could say, oh, it happened by electrical fire or whatever, but it happened last Christmas or whenever it was, and it happened twice. So they tried to burn it down once, and the fire department got here in time, and they put out the fire. And then a week later, it burned down again. But they made sure they did a proper job on it the second time, so it actually burned down. And this, I don't know if you can see on the shot, but the ceiling of the cafe is the floor of our podcast studio. So in one of our studios, the lounge studio, the floor of it is literally above here. So our whole studio got burned down and smoked out. So when this place got burnt out, the studio got burnt out, and we were closed for 6 to 7 months, and that's when Bradley came on board, and we renovated the place and moved it forward. Whilst we renovated upstairs, this got renovated to a very nice spec by the owners, and then our relationship with the owners of the building has developed, and we get on with them very, very well. And this place was empty, and we were talking to them like, why is it empty? Oh, we're looking for the right people. We know, there's so many businesses that have come here and gone and come here and gone, and we don't want it to be hospitality. We don't want it to be there, da 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 da. So we built up our relationship with the owners to the point where we were like, well, we'll take it on. And there was an initial partner that was going to get involved, and then they didn't get involved. And then we're sitting at a cafe, and someone comes along and we get talking to them, Bradley, because I don't talk to nobody, and they start talking about how they moved to Marbella with the vision of opening a health bar.
That was so weird how that happened.
Yeah, so Bradley could talk about it, but our other partner who's got involved in the project, she came along. Literally, we're sitting there doing nothing, and again, if you believe in the universe, we're thinking about taking over this space, but we're like, we don't know how to run a cafe.
I'd never spoken to her.
Yeah,
I thought she was. I'd been there every day. I thought she was Spanish. So I never kind of engaged because I didn't know what to say, obviously, other than hola, un café con leche kind of thing. That's my kind of limit of what I was. And she looked in a shit mood, I'll be honest. And I just went, you don't by any chance want to open a cafe, do you? And she went, what? And I was like, oh, she speaks English. And then she was like, I do actually, yeah. I was like, do you want to meet for a coffee, like, today? She's like, yeah, sure, I finished work in an hour. So I ended up going and meeting her at El Corte Inglés. We sat down, and she had a book, not just a piece of paper, a book of her vision, what it is she wanted to do, all of her products named, the name of the company, everything was there. I had never, ever spoken to her. I'd never engaged with her. I'd kind of said, can I get some service? Because she was the only one at the place that we go to working. Everyone else is stood around, tossing it off, shit service. So when she was like, yes, 100%, like, again, the universe brought that together. This place became fully available, and we were like, right, let's run it, because, you know, worst case scenario, it doesn't work, which when we're on the high street where the market is on a Saturday, we're opening on Sundays, we're offering what the vast majority of Marbella want, which is the health conscious side of things, health focused things. It all aligned from burning down all the way through to a random, you look like you're having a shit day, pretty much, to as now signing the lease, and you're kind of seeing this firsthand, almost like day one, if you will. Yes,
exactly. Obviously, you didn't see the conversation, but when it came to her and her being part of the business, she's already created the business, so we're just coming on as the marketing, pushing the business and the money and all this sort of stuff, and she's the one who's going to be the face of the business, working day in, day out, running the actual spot, because like I said, I have experience running hospitality as a kid. I used to run bars and pubs and all that sort of stuff when I was younger, because I did every job you could think of, so I'm sure I'll help out, but she's the powerhouse behind it, and without her it wouldn't have worked. So somehow she came into our lives, like you said, randomly, by sitting there one day and her being in a bad mood, and you can believe whatever you want to believe about it, but she has 20 years of experience doing it, and our partner as well, and they've run very, very successful places over in the UK and moved out here with the vision of starting a place. and now we're going to. So,
and they could never find a location, which was the weird thing, because there's so many little places pop up like this, and like, you know, Luke was saying, with the owners of the place not wanting to give it to hospitality, not wanting to give it to certain clientele, because the truth of the matter is that most people here are bullshit most of the time. So they wanted someone that they could trust, that they could rely on. Obviously, we've been here a long time, you know, paying month in, month out. So to kind of build the vision of what it is that we're wanting to do with Casa Blend, it's an exciting journey, because, like I said, it's day one. So we're just going to clean all this shit up after this podcast.
Yeah, so like with the vision, we'll talk about it a little bit, just to go through Casa Blend, so you can, if you're interested, and understand what we're trying to reach to and get to, and then from there we'll talk about a few other things going on and go from there. But like the whole idea of Casa Blend, we kind of spoke about it, but it's to be a health conscious bar that provides great service and great quality for an okay price, and then the ideal avatar or client base for this place is going to be a gym goer that goes to Pilates, goes to yoga, and would come here and just have matcha, have smoothie, have coffee, and relax. Takeaway kind of service, not sit down, come and have a waiter. It's kind of like a Starbucks setup, where you come in, you make your order, then you pick it up at the end, and you can sit and drink it, or you can take away. And then the next level or layer to the business would be to create a co-working space out the back, because I mean you'll see some videos of the space if you follow our socials, but it's quite a big outdoor space. So we're going to convert the back end of it into a fully functional co-working space, indoor, air-conditioned, private, and then have like a membership club, which we already have upstairs, but a members club for people to come and co-work. So the idea is that you can make phone calls, you can do your business, you can work in Marbella, because there's so many people that come here for 3 months at a time or 6 months at a time during the summer, and they come from Norway, they come from Germany, they come from wherever, and they don't have an office, so they end up working from their apartment. But they want to get out and they want to meet other entrepreneurs and they want to meet other like-minded individuals, and that's what that would provide. So that's stage 2 of the business. Once we get stage 1 going with the health bar, not cafe, health bar up and running, where all the drinks are up and running, all that sort of stuff's up and running, then people can come here, have a coffee, have a matcha, chill out and relax. And once we've got that humming and working perfectly with the right staff and right service and everything else, we'll then add phase 2, which will be the co-working space at the back. And you'll see that develop, and I'm sure we'll do videos on that too. And then the other phase to it is we want to start pre-prepared meals, like prep meal company, where you, as an athlete or as a gym conscious or health conscious person or someone trying to lose weight, you can come here and you can buy a week's worth of meals that you can have macros on and all that sort of stuff. So that's like the 3 tiers to the business and what we're going to utilize in this space. But we're going to take it one step at a time, because there's a lot of work behind it. And obviously we still got to run the studio, he's still got to run his business, I still got to run my business. So we're also making a movie. We've got a lot of things going on. But that's why I think having strategical partners involved in each project, and you know, the girl, our third partner on this, who's going to be running it, she's very, very vital to the business to make sure that she can push it forward and everything else, while we handle all the other bits that we've got going on. But that's kind of the vision that we have. So like in the comments you can say if you think it's a good idea, if you think we're crazy, if you think we're idiots for starting a business like this. I know a lot of hospitality and cafes and bars fail. I feel like with our network and with what we have here, and the fact that we're upstairs already, you know, we have a run club already that runs on a Monday, we have all these different assets, they're all just going to feed into this business, so every business can help each other.
That's it. And I think also as well, like planting our kind of seed, if you will, for the next 3 to 5 to 10 to 15 years, because a lot of people come here, they say they want to do something, but they're gone in 6 months, they're gone in 12 months. Like Luke's been here 10 years, I've been here nearly 2 years now. So, you know, planting the vision of this, planting, you know, the kind of prep for what it is we want to do next, the next steps. So like, it might always seem when we do these podcasts, you're going to hear so many different things that we talk about, businesses, ideas, this, because it's a good way for us to just vent and get, you know, rather than us sitting on notes all day talking to each other back and forth, this is a good way for us to just kind of get what it is that we're thinking onto video. We might watch it back, we might not, but kind of just having that vision of what it is we want to do. And like Luke was saying, we already have the team and the system in place to help with marketing, to help with content creation. We've got 3 cameras here now, we've got a guy taking photos and videos here while we're doing this. So again, putting that into another business to help grow that brand and kind of get the awareness of that. And any of you watching this as well, you know, if you drink matcha, I don't care what you drink. Like, just comment below this and let us know what it is you think we should serve, because we're at a point now where I think we've got 3 of each on the menu, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 4 at a push.
We're building out the menu, but it's like, it'd be good to get feedback, and at this stage, this is the whole idea we're doing this video and getting the message out there and getting the word out there. People, if they want to come in and be like, listen, you should do this, this, and this. Great, I want this. I live around the corner and I want this. Yeah. We'll provide it. And I think one of the big problems with most hospitality or cafes or health bars or restaurants in general is they don't have the market. They don't have the marketing budget. They don't have the know-how. They don't have everything else. So it's like the fact that we'll have a full team working on this place, we should, and if we don't, let us know, have the best social media you can find for this sort of spot. Like, there should be no one being able to compete with us, because the amount of money and time it takes, we got a full team that can just literally come downstairs and do it. So everything should look perfect. It should all look right. Aesthetically pleasing, and everyone should be like, oh, what's this place? We have a few cool marketing ideas for the signage and the street, and we'll talk about that once they become a bit more real, before we talk about it now. But you should know where this place is. You should notice it. If you come to Marbella, you should be like, oh, Casa, I know it's that place, because it should be that obvious from what we have and the plans that we have to do with it. And again, we combine it with the studio upstairs and the members club upstairs and strategical partnerships across Marbella. So we're looking to partner with 5 or 6 businesses. If you're a business owner in Marbella, or if you're someone that does something here, you should reach out to us and talk to us about it, to give offers and help with the cafe and all that sort of stuff. So there'll be a lot of pluses for you guys to be involved. And we're trying to find the right people to bring the right people to this space, so it feels like the place to be in Marbella and in Port Banús, because not only do you get good service and good coffee and good matcha, but also the right people are there, so you can come across, meet entrepreneurs, meet people that are interesting, you know. So we're trying to make it a little bit of a hub here in Port Banús, because now we've got upstairs, now we've got downstairs. We'll see what happens with next door in the next couple of years, but like Bradley said, it's a 10 to 15 year vision that we have, that you're seeing step by step by step by step. So this is one piece of a very, very, very big puzzle that we're trying to build in our minds. And obviously every piece needs to work for it to move forward. But we have very, very, very big plans for this area, and for, I mean, going towards Estepona and San Pedro and everything like this, we have big, big plans that are coming into fruition. Obviously with the movie happening, that should be getting shot, ojalá, in September. So in September we should be making actual film here. And again, if we're making a film and we've got a crew of 80 people and they need to go for coffee, where they're going to go? Well, they're not going to go to Blooming Breathe. They're going to come to our own spot. Yeah. So we now have a place to house everything all together. So yeah, it's, again, the whole idea with this video and this blog or vlog is just to take you through the journey of it and explain how our minds work and kind of mind up onto you guys. And we're doing it for you guys, but we're also just doing it for ourselves. Because then we can hopefully go back and watch this in 3 years and be like, oh, look where we started and look where we are now. You know, and it's a good way to, with content, what I like to call it for stuff like YouTube videos or vlogs like this, it's like real estate that sits there for the rest of your life that you can go back and look on. And okay, it can create revenue as well if you get to the point where you're making money off YouTube, and that can make you a revenue, but it's also just a nice little block that sits there for you that you can then go back to. And life could go on a completely different tangent, could completely change, but you could still go back to that and say, oh, I had this vision, I had this, and from that moment I went from here to there. Because what a lot of people don't do is they don't review their lives and look back at what they said they were going to do and how it actually worked out and why it went that way. So in 3 years, when we look back, because it's like for any physical business, I believe it's a 3 year time frame to make it actually work. In 3 years, we look back at this and be like, oh, we should have done this, and this. And if Casa doesn't work out, the next business that we start will work out because of all the lessons we learned along the way. You know, because we're also dealing with the Spanish system. We're also dealing with, you know, lots of taxes and all sort of stuff, and hygiene and health and kitchens and things that we've never had to deal with before. So there's going to be a lot of lessons that we're going to have to learn to make this business work. Obviously we'll overcome them and it's not that complicated, but I'm trying to say that's why we like making these videos. Even if we take them down, we'll still have access to them so we can view them in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I like to do like a 3-monthly review of my life and look back at what I've done those 3 months and how I could have done it better and how I could have achieved more and where I went wrong and what happened and how I dealt with it. And that's just a good way to keep getting better and better.
Because I had that on my own YouTube, like where I've got videos of me from, I think it was like 7 years ago, talking absolute waffle. I didn't even know what I was talking about. And I was talking about my goals, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to live, my vision. I didn't actually have Marbella in my head, but it was like sunny, the car that I want to drive, the house I want to live in, the kind of people I want to be surrounded by. If I looked at that now, I'd be like, fucking hell, tick, 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 tick. So again, like what Luke was saying, it's just that bit of real estate that we put online and we're saying it out into the universe. We're cementing exactly what it is that we truly want to achieve. And you guys who are watching this week in, week out can kind of see, oh yeah, they're doing that. They're doing what they say they're going to do. Oh, they fucked up there. And again, that's the whole part of this process is to sit here in, again, 6, 12, 18 months, 2 years time with a thriving cafe, the podcast studios popping, the membership club's on fire, the cigar club's on fire. Everything's exactly where we said it was going to be. But on the back end, you know, we're doing this underwater, like swimming like fucking frantic ducks. On top, you might just see us like gliding on the surface, like nothing's an issue, but that's how business is. You know, you don't see the back end, you don't see the work, you don't see the night after night after night, the 12, 14, 16, 18, 20-hour days. You don't see that. You just see what we put out on socials, which looks pretty, looks amazing, looks like life is going well, but every day we're stressed as fuck. There's things that we need to do, there's conversations being had, and
well, that's why we want to do this. We want to document it, so maybe you can see a little bit. I mean, we're not going to give you the bare bones and the grim stuff, but you hopefully a little bit of that, and you can see how it develops, because that's the side of the world that people don't really show. So we obviously, when I start shouting at Bradley and he says he's going to offer me out and stab me, we won't put that online. But
you see me dangling MX over the fucking side of a balcony, that's real.
Yeah, that's real. AI. That's definitely not AI. Yeah, so it's like we want to try and give you an insight. That's kind of what this is about, giving you an insight to the ideas that we have and what we're trying to create and what we're trying to make. And like I said, it's for ourselves as much as it is for you guys. But I think we're at day one stage. It's a vision right now, and we need to take the steps, you know, a lot of steps to make this a reality. So I don't know what the date is now. I don't know what date this is going to go out. Maybe it's going to go out on Monday. So let's say it's June 20th. Is that the date?
I think today, yeah.
Yeah. So the 20th of June. You know, let's say 6 weeks in the future, let's see where this cafe is. Like I said, if you want to look it up, it's Casa Blend, at Casa Blend Marbs on Instagram. I'm sure on both of our pages we'll be posting it and tagging it. You can come down and even just look at it if you're in the area, and any advice you want to give or any comments you want to give. But you know, we're more than welcome to receive anything. We'll try and take it on and do the best that we can, because there's a good community here in Marbella. There's a good community of people. It's growing every single day. We're going into the prime season, into the big boy season now in the summer, and we want to try and take advantage of it. And I think we're on to a winner here, and I think it's going to be good. It's going to be great for us and great for Casa in general. And again, we have Casa Creative upstairs. This will be Casa Blend. Hopefully you can see the whole Casa brand grow on top. And obviously the podcast studio and all the services that we provide there in the market. The marketing's the main thing. So if you don't like any of the marketing or any of the Instagram, tell me, because then I can slap around the staff.
Or just comment on it and feed the algorithm. That'd be delightful as well. But also, like today, I think it's nice for us. I think this is the first time we've done a proper mobile podcast, if you will, that's not been in the studio, that's not been upstairs. So this is kind of giving us ideas as well as where we could go do other podcasts, where we could do other shoots. We've just discussed one before this that we're going to do. I'm not sure how the guys who are with us will feel about that, but it's an exciting journey. And we're not going to talk about it on here because some of you guys might go do it. But there's a lot of other things that we've got planned and kind of just sharing, you know, the dynamic side of podcasting, because a lot of people, they want to do it in the living room, they want to do it in the studio, which is fantastic, but we also have the ability to go anywhere and anywhere. Everywhere and anywhere? Anywhere and anywhere. I don't really care about that.
Everywhere and anywhere.
Everywhere and anywhere. You can go where you want. Yeah. So that this is good for us, like a first test, to see how it looks, to see how it feels, which, you know, it's kind of testing stage every single time, but it feels good, looks good, hopefully, and kind of just showcasing what it is that we can do with inside the podcast side of things as well.
And then when it comes to the movie, obviously the movie's called A Beautiful Kill. We spoke about it a few times, but if you're in Marbella and you want to be in a film, we are going to need hundreds of extras. hundreds. So reach out about that as well. I know it's early stages, but who knows when you're actually watching this. Like, we are going to be shooting hopefully in September. I will do proper call outs for that sort of stuff. But if you're interested in being in a film and being an extra and being in a scene, I mean, I'm not going to give you lines and give you acting and da 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 da. But if you want to be in there, there's going to be a lot of party scenes. There's a wedding in the film. There's some events where we need a lot of people. So reach out to us if you're interested in being an extra, if you're interested in doing that, getting into Hollywood, getting into the movies, doing that sort of stuff as well. Reach out on this page, on the Marbella podcast page, like on the actual podcast. It's at Marbella Podcast for the studio, like the studio page. Reach out to us about that, because we're definitely going to need people, so we can put you in a list, and we can start. The earlier you get involved, obviously we'll reward that and make sure we contact those people first if you fit the description of the people that we need to find.
100%.
I don't know what else.
I don't know really. I think we've covered pretty much everything. We've got for any. We can kind of touch on this. I don't think we've spoke about this on the podcast at all, to be fair. So every Friday we host Sip and Smoke. So Friday evening, 7 till 9 on the terrace. Anyone who likes a cigar, you don't have to drink. But for me and Luke are nearly 7 months in now, not on that. But again, if you smoke cigars and you want to come along to that, let us know. Obviously, it's invite only, so we can't just have 100 people turning up because the terrace can't hold that. We have it where we have different variations of cigars, ranging from €20 all the way up that people can bring with them or get here. And I think, building communities is what me and Luke really enjoy. So we've got people who love smoking cigars, we've got people who love drinking matcha, drinking coffee, we've got people who love doing podcasts, who love the Monday Run Club, anything like that. We've got different little communities that we can bring together. And obviously we've launched the online, membership club now with the Cigar Club. So that's something that we're really excited as well about launching, because when I first came to Marbella, I didn't necessarily smoke cigars. I'd seen people smoke them, and you almost have that level of that not upper class, it might be the wrong word, but you look at them and you feel a certain type of way when you see someone smoking a cigar.
So my wife just said it the best. I remember when I was years ago when I started smoking cigars, she just said, "You just look like you make money." That's what she said. You look like you make money.
Look like you make money.
So it's like we were all at Puente Romano. There was like 5 guys all sitting there in suits smoking cigars, and she showed up a bit late because I had dinner with the boys, and then she came later. She was like, "You guys look like you make money." I was like, "Yeah, well, that's the idea, right?" Yeah. So that's the thing with a cigar is what it exudes, and what people, how people view you, which is the main reason people smoke one and then put it on Instagram. Is because they want to look like they have that level of success, or whatever you want to call it. But most people, this is the whole reason we started the Casa Cigar Club, most people don't understand anything about cigars, like nothing, and they just puff on it a little bit and don't get it, don't know how to taste it, don't know how to enjoy it, don't know the ritual of it, don't know anything to do with it, don't know the history. So we built the Casa Cigar Club. It's an online membership. It's super cheap, it's education, and it's also networking. So you get to join, you get to network with other individuals that are into cigars or just there to network, which a lot of people are anyway. And also you get to learn the basics, the fundamentals of what a cigar is, how to smoke a cigar, how to cut a cigar, how to light a cigar, how to pick a cigar, how to go in there and understand the differences of what it comes to, why you go into a cigar club and what you would ask, the questions you'd ask to pick a right one. And cigars, everyone thinks cigars are expensive, and they are, but you can get one for €15 that's good. Yeah. You don't have to get the €150 Cohiba. You can get a basic Nicaraguan cigar that's great.
So most people don't know the price.
Yeah, no, people don't understand it. There's lots of different ranges and different ways you can look at it. But that's why we started the Casa Cigar Club. Yeah. We have it on Instagram as well. I think in the comment, in the description, we'll put all this stuff so you can see it. But it's like you've got the Casa Cigar Club there, and you can just go straight to the website. It has all the information about it, and you can join. Like the idea with the Casa Cigar Club, we have the Casa Cigar Connoisseurs Club, which is the online educational platform, and then we have the physical Casa Cigar Club upstairs on a Friday night. Yeah. So every Friday we meet. At the moment it's 7 p.m. because of the sun, but it's changing depending on the heat with Marbella. But once a week on a Friday, entrepreneurs come together. It's invite only, members only. We have anything ranging between 6 and 20 people come on a Friday, and we all talk about business. We talk about what happened that week, and it's like a ritual that I believe in. And I started on a Friday. I just have a cigar on my own, smoking a cigar on a Friday, reviewing my week, thinking about how the week's gone, thinking about my life, which is what I think a cigar's about. But then I just thought, fuck it, if I'm going to do this on my own, I might as well do it with a group of cool people. So we started inviting people that are making it a thing. Yeah. So we've been doing that now. It's probably only been a couple of months. A couple of months, and it's really picking up.
Because that is for me how cigars are. It's a networking tool. Like, and I never really understood it before. I've never smoked them, like I said. So for me, sitting there smoking a cigar, been around 10, 11, 12, 15 other entrepreneurs. I'm not saying that I now trust them, but if they're there week in, week out, you get to know someone. So like, I can then refer their business, I can pass them on to other people that say someone asks me for an accountant. I've now know someone who I can pass on to them who's an accountant, who runs an agency, who does this, who does this, who does this. So again, we're trying to build them little pockets of communities. And for me, the cigar is a great opener because, again, it's teaching you the basics. I didn't know how to fucking cut it. I didn't know how to light it. If people would have watched me who knew, they're looking at me going, fucking noob. Like, I remember watching Luke doing it, I'm like, man, this looks difficult. But by the time you understand what to do, how to do it, every single smoke is the same. Like, all of my cigars used to end up like that. It's because I didn't burn it properly around the edge. I didn't have it where it all kind of petered in the middle. So the cigar ash never collected properly. I was dropping ash everywhere, like an absolute rookie. Now I'm probably a good maybe 3-inch on getting to the ash before I either have to tab it off or it falls on the floor. So I'm getting to a point where it doesn't fall on the floor, because that's kick-out mode supposedly in.
Well, if you go to the proper lounges, they're not gonna be happy about that. But it's it's a cool thing to be involved in. You know, like I think obviously, I mean, it all comes down to Andrew and what he's done and everything else, and everyone's smoking cigars mainly in the younger generation because they want to try and be like Andrew. Like that's honestly where it comes from, I believe. And he's had such an impact on that industry. But he don't give you any education on it. He don't understand. He don't talk about it. Listen, I go to the house and they've got every fucking cigar from a €1,000 cigar to a €50 cigar. They say, oh, they all taste the same. They're not connoisseurs in any way, but they like to smoke cigars because you look like a mafia boss. Yeah. So it is what it is. But for me, I like to have a really good understanding of everything that I do. So if I like to smoke a cigar, I want to have a deep knowledge and understanding of that thing. It just is how I'm built. So I know, I always said this, like 10% of the people that smoke cigars probably feel the same. So they're probably like, I don't really understand this. I like it and I want to do it, but I want to know more about it. But how the fuck do you know more about it? How do you learn about it? It's hard to know. And I feel like it was a stuffy, older generation thing and that only 60-year-olds do. Yeah. And now, because of Andrew and because of that, like every young entrepreneur wants to smoke a cigar. So that's kind of what was the idea of the business and where it came from. And building that community out has been good. It's been very, very good. Like you said, now if you come on a Friday, it's the guy, we've got a fitness coach there who we probably referred 5 fucking clients to. He's making a shitload of money. We've got an OTC crypto guy who's making money. There's so many individuals in there. We've got a fucking luxury car rental guy who's making bank because of us. You know, there's loads of people that are making money because they come to a Friday night cigar. Yeah. And the sort of people that are into cigars and come to cigars normally align with success. So you get very, very good individuals that show up to this thing. So if you're in Marbella on a Friday, like I said, it's members only, you have to reach out to us or join the club or whatever, but it might be worth doing it for you.
Yeah, 100%. That's all I wanted to touch on, really, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think
Casa Blend, studio, podcast, membership club. Cigar, movie.
Yeah. They're all the business stuff going on. Personally, like I said, I think we're just now both on a very straight, narrow line when it comes. We're both. I mean, I don't want to talk for Bradley, but me, I'm getting a bit on now. You know what I mean? Approaching 40, trying to think. This is a bit of advice that I got in my life. Was like, I've lived my life the same way for 36 years or 35 years it was at the time. Maybe I should try living my life the other way. And the way I was living my life after fighting for the last 5 or 6 years was being a booze hound, going out, enjoying myself, drinking, partying, going to Ibiza, going to Mykonos, going to Dubai, and going mad and spending mad money. I mean, I spent crazy money over the last 5 years on just going out and having a good time. And if I really want to take my life to the next level, maybe I should try living a different way. Yeah. And in those, I talk a lot about how people always say to me, how do I meet the right people? Or, I want to improve my life or da-da-da-da-da. It's not about the things that you do. It's about the things that you say no to, the things that you don't do. Fact, yeah. That's how I found it. And by me not being the guy that goes out at the weekend or flies here because there's some cool party or goes and sees some DJ or whatever, by not doing those things, the people that don't do those things all of a sudden came into my life. And they're the more successful, the people I look up to, the people that are making moves, that are actually doing things. They ain't the guys that go out at the weekend and spend 10 grand on the table. No. You know, that might come later in life, maybe, but probably not. The people that are really knuckled down, trying to make money, trying to evolve, trying to become better, they're not wasting their time with that bullshit. They're not chasing pussy and they're not doing that. They're, you know, trying to become better. So I've seen the difference in my life in the last 6 months, and how it's brought me together, like together with Bradley. Bradley was already doing it, and I was the one that interrupted it for a little bit as we became close at the beginning. And he's been on that journey for a bit longer than I have, but now we're on it together. And the people that we surrounded with now, it just keeps getting better and better and better, because we're not chasing the dopamine high. Yeah. We're chasing the generational wealth high. It's like a very, very different.
The superficial lifestyle is not the chase anymore. Like Luke was mentioning, jumping on flights. I used to do that every Thursday. I'd jump on a flight, I'd go to Ibiza for two or 3 days. Like, what the fuck am I doing? And it was great at the time, but now when you look back on it, like, there's so much you can be doing day in, day out. You know, I'm on a fitness journey now, if you will. I'm probably 3 days in. Today's Wednesday. Wednesday. We're 3 days in. I started on Monday, and I already feel better. Getting more steps in, going to the gym again, like being conscious of what I'm eating and drinking. Yes, I'm already down 7 kilos. We have a little group, like we said last time, where every week we document his journey. And I think having them people around you who hold you accountable, who inspire you and motivate you to do other things, the universe will eventually align you with them people. Or if you're off track, I've said this before, it'll keep slapping you back. And you're sat there thinking, why me? What's going on? Why is my life different to theirs? What can I be doing different? And it is just them things every single day, the daily habits that you get used to saying no to, that don't align with you, that don't align with your future self, that don't align with that version of you that you want to become. I think it's very, very important that you take track of that. Like Luke says, every couple of months he looks at where he is, his videos that he's done, the tracking of himself. Like, if you're not doing that, you're never going to look back and think, oh shit, I've gone off course a little bit there, I need to change a little bit. So, you know, like we're doing these where probably just talking to the cameras now to each other, talk more, hold each other accountable, and sit back in another 6 months' time and we're looking like, oh shit, we've done a year no drinking, a year no alcohol, a year without kind of just blasting money everywhere, because that's what we had a tendency of doing a lot.
There was I don't know where it comes from, but there was a phrase, and it was something like, if you truly believe it and you're willing to say it out loud, the universe will reward you with it. Yep. So it's like, not always, obviously you got to do the work, blah, 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 but it's like thoughts are things, and if you think the thing and you think it's strong enough, you'll say it out loud, and if you say it out loud, you've said it, so you got to fucking do it. Yeah. So the fact that you got to say it and you got to fucking do it, and that's kind of what these are for us. Yeah. We're just saying the things that we're going to do. We have to do it, because I've said to you lot, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. I'm not drinking, I'm focused on this business. I'm not focused on chasing flights and going to Ibiza or being a dickhead. I'm focused on business. By vocalizing all of these things, it just gives power to the notion of what you're trying to do with your life. It's like self-hypnosis, and that's all language is. So whenever you're talking to anybody at any moment, or you're watching, a lot of the time, like, you're watching these influencers or these people, they're just talking to themselves 90% of the time. It's just a self-hypnosis tactic where you say it out loud and you truly believe it. Yeah. You have to truly believe it to say it out loud. You have to truly believe it to say it out loud with any sort of conviction. So if you believe what we are saying, if you believe what I am saying just via communication, just by me saying those words, imagine how deeply that I have to believe it to say it the way I say it. Yeah. It's like a next level of consciousness. So that's kind of what this exercise is for us. I'm doing these. We'll do a podcast every couple of weeks, or minimum once a month, but we want to try and do them as regularly as possible. And it just keeps us online, keeps us on track. And you guys should be doing the same thing. You need to be. I remember, again, giving up booze. I don't really want to. I like talking about giving up booze because I sound like a loser. But when I give up booze, the first thing I did was I told everybody I know, everyone I was going to interact with, everyone I was going to speak to, everybody I see on a regular basis, I text them. I do not drink anymore, because then they don't, you want to drink? Yeah, it's like, no, they know. I've made it clear and I've said it. So they're the ones who are going to hold me accountable. Be like, I thought you weren't drinking, mate. You know, you're like, yeah. So the best, if you're going to do something and make a big change in your life, the hardest part is admitting it and believing it and saying it. So if you believe it and you say it to your mate, most of the time they'll say, I didn't believe you when you said that, I thought you were going to fucking crack. But you're 6 months in, you're doing all right, mate, well done. And they will test you at the beginning, but they actually respect you for making the decision. So giving up booze is the perfect example. First 3 weeks, 6 weeks, I'd have loads of people joking, saying, go on, mate, you know you want to drink, go on, mate, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like pushing you. But they're just doing it out of enjoyment or fun or whatever they want to call it. And then after 6 months, the same people that be like, oh, mate, you've already, they'll be like, mate, I respect what you're doing, well done.
I'm a week in, I'm 2 weeks in, I'm not drinking anymore.
Exactly.
Some people have followed the path as well, which is good. I think it's kind of like, not being I don't want to say trendsetter in any means, but like sometimes someone has to be ballsy enough to start that. And I'm not saying that just because we're not drinking, it's because of that, but like we've got a good few people around us now that every time we saw them, every time we went for a coffee, they'd be drinking beer. They'd be drinking a cocktail. Now, no, they're not so much. And I think Luke was talking about something there about saying things with conviction, saying things with your chest and truly believing it. Like if you're an entrepreneur right now and you've got set things that you want, like one thing that I got taught to do was like, let's say you wanted a new car. Let's say you're saying, I don't know, you want to earn 100 grand a year extra in this business that you're doing. Say to yourself, do I think it's going to take 10 years? No. Do I think it's going to take 5 years? No. Do I think it's going to take 2 years? Whatever point you start to kind of question that number, you need to then look at why that is. What is the reason behind you saying, oh, maybe it'll take me 2 years? Is it because you don't have your infrastructure in place? Do you not have your payment method in place? Do you not know how to market properly? Do you not know how to do this? Do you not know how to do that? Then, once you've journaled it all, written it all out, you've got your system, your plan in place, right, do it again. Do I believe it'll take me 5 years? No. Do I believe it'll take me 2 years? No. Do I believe it'll take me a year? Yes. Right, okay, why? Because I need to do this, 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 and this, and this is the time frame that I truly believe it'll take. Right, in a year's time, if you stick to everything that you're setting yourself and your intentions to do, in a year's time you'll achieve that. So you as a human being have to be your own kind of calculator, your own time, your own tracker method, and I don't word this, we're our own internal computer system. We're just in a simulation right now, whether you like to think it or not. I truly think we are. Our thoughts is exactly where we are because of how we thought. So if you start to rewire and reprogram that based on your business, based on your lifestyle, based on your environment, your relationships, everything like that, and you want to change that up, how long is it going to take you? I've done this for years and years and years, and every time I've set myself a goal, when I've got to that kind of 18 month, it's typically happened. So like now I've just done this again yesterday. That's why I'm bringing this up for new goals, new things that like truly were once pipe dreams. And I'm sat there thinking, fucking hell, another 12 to 18 months, life is going to be a whole new level. And I think that's an exciting part that you guys can do while you're watching this if you've made it this far into the podcast. Most of you might not, but I think it's a very, very good test as to your beliefs on what comes out of your mouth at that time. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to end as well, because I completely agree with that as well. I call it the what, why, how, when method. So it's like you say what you're going to do, you say why you want to do it, you say how you're going to do it, and you say when you're going to do it. But I never thought of that like setting the timing, because yeah, you have to evaluate why it's going to take you so long, and if it's going to take you that long, why, and then it gives you the points that you need to hit and the things that you need to be doing daily. And fitness is the easiest way to do it, because fitness is like so quantifiable.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to put fucking 10 kilos on my bench press. How do I put 10 kilos on my bench press? I need to put little increments of weight over a certain amount of time, and then I'll be able to do it. It's inevitable that it will happen as long as you do the work. It's the same with everything. Yeah. So if you want to put little increments on your life, it's inevitable as long as you do the work. But yeah, I think we'll end there, because we got to run to a meeting. Yep. We got a meeting for this place about stickers and logos and signage and all that great stuff. So we're going to have like a branding meeting today and talk about the color schemes, the brands, the textures, loads of girly stuff that I don't understand, but I'm going to pretend I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So adios guys, and we'll see you at the next one. Maybe the next one will be in a different location, something random, something crazy, something weird, or maybe it'll be in the studio. We'll find out. Right.
Let's see how busy we are. See you
Peace.
later.